Well, hello everybody. This is Beer Chiller here. I'm just enjoying some time on the patio. Hanging out by the pond. Watching all my little fishies. And the pond snails. Whoever it was in the aquarium thread that said my fish would have babies and their babies would have babies and then we'd have lots of babies was kind of underselling it. I was expecting this and I'm overjoyed that it happened. We're gonna have such fun catching these guys when it's time to shut down the pond for winter. Unfortunately, I couldn't find Japanese rice fish, so I went with guppies. And they need warmer temperatures than I'm prepared to give them over the winter. Well, they're not even really guppies. There's some guppies in there. I put one female and 3 different males that had all kinds of different traits that I wanted. And there was some Endler and, well, Endler females and some males and females that were hybrid Endler guppies. So I'm pretty sure all of these guys are at least some degree hybridized between guppies and Endlers. They sure don't seem to be preying on the fry, so that leads me to believe they've got a lot of Endler in them. And seeing the juvies and the odd handful that have actually matured, yeah, Endler, very distinct. I love it. Just endless entertainment watching these guys. You can see some damage in the lily pads there. And I don't have any water hyacinth left because the raccoons, they love to come here at nighttime and just party it up. And if there's been any predation on the fish, it's unnoticeable. But they certainly trash the plants. And unfortunately, they stir up the silt in the bottom. I went with kitty litter as a substrate with root tabs for the water lily, and then tried capping it with aquarium gravel and aragonite because I really wanted to get the hardness up. We've got super soft water here, and I know that live bearers like a really hard water, so I was working on that. There's some, you can see some oyster shells and clam shells and whatnot in there. I've went collecting on the beach around here. Gave them a good boil up, smashed them up a bit, threw them in. Threw in some dolomitic limestone as well, or dolomitic lime, it's crushed up limestone, dolomitic limestone. And yeah, some aragonite. But I didn't put enough on to really cap it, and boy oh does that kitty litter, it's just straight up clay silt. It turns into zero visibility if you touch the bottom. Sponge filter's been helping an awful lot with that. If the raccoons come and party it up, tear up the bottom a whole bunch and it turns to chocolate milk in here. Give that sponge filter a clean. I'll clean it daily over the course of 2-3 days and it usually clears this right up. I've also taken, I don't know if you can see it down under the water, but it's a little mini 5-gallon pump head. It says a 5-gallon filter, tiny little sponge on the intake, and it had a snorkel with a venturi for drawing a little air in and aerating a small tank. And it gives super high velocity on the outlet. So what I did was trim down the outlet to fit into the neck of a 1 liter bottle, like a pop bottle, and I cut the bottom off. And I took a filter media bag and filled it up with oyster shells and aragonite and stuffed that in there as kind of a baffle system, and hey, get some flow over this calcium carbonate to harden up the water, and then capped off the end with a big chunk of filter sponge, cut to fit stuff, and I got the bottom cut off of it so it slows down the velocity of the flow anyway, and gets the water coming out of the little pump going over all kinds of surface area for bacteria to grow on. And it's just a little barrel or cannon filter that I've rigged up. It seems to do the trick. I have some ditch lilies there that I took out of the flower bed and rinsed off the roots and put them in the basket of that the water lily came in. And they've been growing pretty good here. They look all beat up because I did put a net over. I put the net on at night now and tie it down, and that's, so far over the past week or so, has kept the raccoons out. They haven't been stirring up the water, but it squashes down the ditch lilies, or day lilies, whatever you want to call them. And they're wonderful plants. They grow like weeds, and they're edible. Eat the blossoms, delicious. So yeah, hopefully it's not been too much of a shaky cam today, and hopefully it's not too much of a breathing sort of effect. I know the image stabilization can do that. And I hope you all just have a really wonderful time. Chill out. Enjoy. Take care. Bye-bye.